Chapter 14, Private Restrictions. Let's recap what we covered in this chapter. Land affected by an easement is called the servient estate, while the land or person benefited by the easement is known as the dominant estate. Most type of easements are affirmative, which means that they allow the use of another's land. Less common are negative easements, which usually involve preserving a person's access to light or view by limiting what can be done on a neighboring or nearby property. View easements are not that uncommon. Private easements affect specific properties and will typically have a measurable effect on the value. Public easements, like utility easements along a road, typically affect all properties in equal fashion. And when properties are all subject to the same or similar utility or public easements, adjustments aren't necessary. Drainage easements preserve a legal path for storm water conveyance. Easy for me to say. I'm going to say it again. Drainage easements preserve a legal path for storm water conveyance. A downstream property owner is obligated to accept storm water flowing onto his property by gravity. No dumping of yard debris, filling with soil or concrete is permitted within the drainage easement. The property owner, whether public or private, is responsible for maintaining any open drainage easement included on that property. Property owners who fail to maintain drainage easements in open, unobstructed condition may be subject to fines or may face civil liability in the event of a flood or damage to surrounding properties. Restrictive covenants are generally imposed in order to protect some interest, financial or otherwise, of the seller or developer. These are legal obligations imposed by the owner of a particular property, requiring the owner to do something or to do nothing. Frequently, covenants or restrictions run with the land and are enforceable against subsequent purchases. Most of the time, restricted covenants with well-defined development standards and appropriate enforcement mechanisms provide a measure of protection for a purchaser's investment and make it clear in terms of how this may impact on the value of a property. It's important to remember that the builder's covenants are binding on all persons purchasing the property within a builder's subdivision, as long as those covenants are made as a matter of public record in the county, municipality in which the land's located, and will be referred to in any deed transferring the land from one purchaser to another. Transferable development rights, known as TDRs. So that's an important term. Transferable development rights, TDRs, represent a method of controlling land use which complement land use planning and zoning for more effective urban growth management and land conservation. TDR programs, transferable development right programs, financially compensate landowners for choosing not to develop some or all of their land. In some cases, conservation easements can reduce the taxes, that's the property taxes on a property, that a property owner pays for their land. A conservation easement can be essential for passing land on to the next generation. By removing the land's development potential, the easement lowers its market value in many cases, which in turn lowers the estate tax when it is bequeathed. Whether the easement is donated during life or by will, it can make a critical difference in the heir's ability to keep the land intact. Well, that's a lot to digest, but I'm sure you got the main messages and will do terrific in the upcoming quiz for Chapter 14. See you in the next chapter. Thanks.